Merry Christmas, everyone. This is Kalyan Karmakar here from Bandra in Mumbai, and I've got some Christmas treats for you. This platter is what is called the Kuswar by the Goans, as I learned from food writer Joanna Lobo. And one of the high points of Christmas for me in Bandra is these treats which we give from our neighbors. This time from our neighbors Erica and Jia. Erica's made these cakes, and some of the other treats are things like marzipan, guava cheese, milk cream, jujubes. All of these are like favorites in Christmas in the community. And then from the east of India, Goans are from the west. From the eastern India, I've got the Norom Pake Sandesh, which a friend of mine who wants to stay anonymous, he got it from Calcutta yesterday from VIP Sweets, where we'd often pick up sweets on the way to the airport. And he's been very supportive during the lockdown of the work which I've been doing. And Norom Pake Sandesh means soft, like a bit like a cheesecake, unlike Korapak, which is more firm. And it is made with notun gur or patali gur, which is the jaggery which we get during winter. And all year long we wait for it in Kolkata, just as I wait for these sweets. And there's also a Christmas tree. And in case you're wondering, it's actually made with wax. It's a Christmas tree candle from Auspicious Beginnings, which Erica and Gia got us. And before I sign off, I must tell you a bit about my Christmas tree memories, because this year with the pandemic and also 2 kittens, we were not too sure about putting a Christmas tree up. But as a kid, I've grown up to stories about the massive Christmas tree at the Canterbury Cathedral. Canterbury is where I was born. And then when I was in Calcutta, my father threw a Christmas party and he set up a Christmas tree. Then when my dad was no more, we would always celebrate Christmas at home in memories of those times. And we had this little tree from my grandmom's garden, which we'd sort of decorate with cotton, paper cuttings and all of that. And very fond memories of Christmas spent there with my mom, my brother, grandparents, uncle and aunt. And then in Mumbai, when we had our house, and Candies and I threw our first Christmas party, which was with friends which I just made through my blog, Finally Chopped at that point. And since then, we've always had a Christmas tree. This year we hadn't, and I was feeling a bit bad about that. And then along with these lovely Christmas treats came the Christmas tree. So you've got treats from the west of India, the Goans. You've got treats from the Mishti from the east of Indians. Interestingly, there's a Portuguese angle to both of them. The Goan Catholic food and cuisine is influenced a lot by the Portuguese. And the chana of Kolkata, which is the base of the Mishti, the cottage cheese, so to speak, is said to have been introduced by the Portuguese when they introduced the art of cheese making to Bengal. So there's a lot of history, there's a lot of personal memories, there's a lot of love, there's a lot of warmth, and that's what Christmas is all about. So may I wish you a very happy and Merry Christmas. Winter in Calcutta were about sweet treats like Nolengur and Mishti and Joynagar and Moa, but Christmas was about Borodiner cake. So the Christmas cake is a big thing in Calcutta. There are legendary places like Nahum and Flurries and so on, but there are a lot of bakeries across the city which locals of the neighborhoods would know of. And you get cakes even in local tea shops and pan shops and corner shops and everywhere. And people would always have a cake at home. And last year I was in Cochin and I found out from O'Neill Sabu, who took me on a walk around Fort Kochi, that the first plum cake was apparently baked in Kerala, in Talacheri in North Kerala in 1883. And this year I have got a cake baked by the Talacheri girl, which is Marina Balakrishnan. She's a home chef who's been wowing us with her Keralite food through the lockdown, which she opened her enterprise called Utapura. And she's also made the Utapura plum cake and she sent it over. So I've actually got a plum cake by a Talacheri girl. And Talacheri is where the first plum cake was made in 83. Now this is what I love about Marina, that her thing about packaging, so you open it, so there's a bit of Keralite silk and then confetti, and this little potli has got spices in it. So when you open it, you almost feel like you're in a Keralite spice market. And then there's this cake. And what's very interesting about the cake is that Marina now does only plant-based cooking. So what she did is, she's actually quite an accomplished chef. She's trained in New York and worked with Chef Garima Arora also. So she's made this cake where she fermented the fruits in orange juice, so not in rum. And this is also an eggless cake. And it's got a lovely crumb and texture and smells amazing. and the fruits have been fermented in orange juice, so not rum, and eggless. And it's so nice because nowadays there are a lot of people who are moving towards vegetarianism or teetotalers, and they can enjoy a very classy Christmas cake. So we're going to share some of this with Candies' mama, who's a rare vegetarian and teetotaler Parsi. So we've had a Christmas cake baked by Marina Balakrishnan, and then there is a Christmas cake which is also home baked by our neighbors, the Kutinas, who live next door. And it's also a sign of times. You know, in other years they would give us Christmas treats, but this year, because of the pandemic, Mrs. Kutina actually came and gave us this cake, and she said that she has baked cakes for every apartment in our building. And she said, don't worry, all these cakes have been baked by me alone. They have been packed by me alone, and no one has touched this. So you have nothing to worry. So think of how much love and care has gone into this cake, and this looks lovely. So I think, you know, the whole of the few days left in December, I'm going to eat only cake. So lovely to have home baked cakes coming in from neighbors, coming in from friends. And talking of cakes and home baked cakes, this table's going to get filled up. Huh? I've got lots of stuff to show you. Look at these guys. Look at these guys. So I was telling you about Jia Badami's baking, which she's been treating us, and her mom had made Christmas cakes and the kuswar. Well, this is made by Jia Badami, and these are reindeer cupcakes, and she got them to us on Christmas Eve midnight, and they taste amazing. They taste amazing, and especially the chocolate buttercream on top, the frosting with that little bit of savoriness coming in from the butter. Such a talented young girl. And don't they look cute? And look at the detailing. There's a mistletoe and everything. So we've got cakes, we've got cupcakes. And remember, I was telling you about the Goan tradition of kuswar. Well, yesterday I found out from Ruth D'Souza's Instagram page that even the Mangalorean Catholics call it kuswar. And then I checked with Francisca Marzella, who's our neighbor down the road and runs Daily Cut Bandra, a home chef enterprise. She started during the lockdown. Amazing food we've had from there. So even the East Indians call it kuswar, and this is what she sent from the Daily Cut Bandra. And she said that it's really a matter of pride for families to put this platter together, make as much as possible at home, and then give it to neighbors and their friends and loved ones. And you know, I've lived in Bandra through my time in Mumbai for the last 20 years or so. And in Christmas, these platters which you get are truly special. I didn't know they were called kuswar till yesterday on Christmas Eve, but you can keep learning. And talking of kuswar platter, there's a kuswar platter which is coming from the Pareiras who run Candies. We went there for breakfast also today, but there was too long a queue, so I thought we'll go and you know, so I thought that people enjoy their Christmas breakfast, we'll go another day. But yesterday evening, Beverly sent this Christmas platter which is coming from Candies. And this is the traditional Christmas cake, plum cake, which they make at Candies. And because they're very kids friendly, so they don't put alcohol in their plum cake, so the kids can also have it. And then there is kuswar, which for years I believe Beverly and Candies' mom's friend makes these and sends them at home, so it's a big part of their family tradition. There are these caramel fudges. And they also do these things to encourage local enterprises. So they also gingerbread cookies. And Candies' sister, or Candies rather, has a store called Marry Me. And there's this little Christmas artifact. So I'm going to hang it on our Christmas tree, which is actually a candle. And there are roseberries. And as I complete the table, how can I not get what's remaining from Erica's kuswar plate? And isn't this a lovely, sweet, delicious Christmas table? And I wish I could invite you to join me, and I would very happily cut you a slice of cake. But till then, Merry Christmas. But there's more food coming. Huh? Don't go. Christmas always brings back memories of catching up with friends and getting together. I remember once we met at our friend Sanchita's house, and she got a roast chicken ordered. And I was given the job of carving it because she said that you're a food writer. Then once we met at our friend Shaumik's house, and we'd all ordered a suckling pork, and our friend Kurus Dalal was slicing it. And it was almost like a tribal gathering, like Kurush was slicing each piece and taking it out and we were having it. Pandemic, so it won't be like any big friends party or anything like that. But our friend Erika has ordered a roast chicken and given it to us. This is from Chef Alu. So there's chicken, there's salad, there is a bit of jus to go with it, and I have to go to get carving on that. And with this, there's also with some bread which has just come in, which is by our friend Samprita Sinha. So it's going to be a bit of a surprise. I don't know what's in it, but during the lockdown, she started baking breads under the name Pawani. And we've loved her sourdoughs. In fact, during Diwali, we gifted it to some of our friends. And I'm going to see what's in this. Sorry, I'm too excited because I love her breads. And they're just fabulous. I requested for something savory. I love her packaging, you know. Oh! This is a Christmas tree. This is a Christmas tree bread. The olives and the warmth of the bacon. So, such talent has come out during the lockdown. Like Samprita works in the corporate sector. In fact, at one point she was my client. We'd done a project together. And then she started baking breads as a hobby, shared some with us. And then during the lockdown, with all the free time, she started Pawali, fabulous stuff. Okay, now Chef Alu, who's a friend of mine, very accomplished chef, he's an East Indian. So I'm going to end this video by showing you some more East Indian food. And this has come from Francisco Marzillo, who lives just across the lane from her. She also was in the IT sector. She's a former corporate. And during the lockdown, she started the Daily Cut Bandra, which is a home chef enterprise. And she does East Indian food based on whatever she learned from her mom and her godmother. The East Indians often gather together on Christmas to have the sourpatel and the pulao. And I've had a sourpatel, which is amazing, vindaloo, everything. She also said that in their house, they make a pickled pork. So she promised to give me some on Christmas. So here it is, there's pickled pork. And to have with that, fugias, freshly fried sweetbreads, typical of the East Indian community. So I've been talking to you all this while about sweets, desserts, cakes, and all of that. And now is this lunch stuff and dinner stuff. So I think the whole Christmas plan is there. And then even maybe a bit of Boxing Day, like Chef Grisham had said in Saltwater Cafe, that they take everything of what's remaining and put it together and make a fried rice and eggs, which sounds to be a great idea. But this is why Christmas is such a delicious affair in Mumbai, and so many local traditions. And I think that it's really amazing to see all the Christmas messages I've been getting since the morning. I think it's one festival which brings all of us together. So here's wishing you all a very Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching. Stay safe, and may their families be blessed by good health, peace and happiness.